Masters Vessel Classical Academy, Primary Section. On the roll.
Good day, pupils. We have CROS now for junior primary. In our CROS today, we are going to talk about a topic that says Call of Abraham and God's Promises. Call of Abraham and God's Promises. Now, Abraham, before I move forward, I would like us to know where this topic is gotten from, where you can see it in the Bible. It is from the book of, listen very well, it is from the book of Genesis, chapter 12, 1 to 19. Another one is Genesis 17, 15 to 17. Genesis chapter 17 from verse 15 to 17. Then you also go to Genesis chapter 21 from verse 1 to 7. This is where you will see this story. Abraham was known as Abram. Abraham was known as Abram before God called him. The meaning of Abram is high exalted father. High exalted father. God called Abraham to leave his country, relatives, father's house, where idols were worshipped. God told him to leave that country totally. Leave. Take your wife, take your servants. So Abraham left that country. Abraham took his wife, his nephew, Lot, his slaves, and his properties to a place where God wants to show him. And that place is called a promised land. That promised land is Canaan. I want you to pick all these important points. Abraham was known as Abram before God called him. In this lesson, I would like you to explain the call of Abraham to God. I would like you to list the promises of God to Abraham. I would like you also to mention how God fulfilled the promise. Mention how God fulfilled the promises. You list the promises of God to Abraham. You will also explain the call of Abraham by God. So the one I'm explaining now is the call of Abraham by God. The call of Abraham by God. I told us that Abraham was known as Abram, meaning high exalted father. God called him to leave his country, his house, his relatives, to a place where he is going to show him. And that place is called a promised land, known as Canaan. So, Abraham took his wife, his nephew, Lot, slaves, and properties to that promised land called Canaan. So this is all about the call of Abraham by God. Reaching that place, he built an altar. He now moved down to another place called Bethel and built another altar there. So now, we are going to talk about God's promises to Abraham. God's promises to Abraham. We have talked about his call. Now, number one promise God made to Abraham was, I will give you many children. I will give you many children. Number two promise God made to Abraham was, your children will become a great nation. Your children will become a great nation. Number three promise God made to Abraham was, I will bless you and make your name famous. Famous here means great. I will bless you and make your name famous. Number three promise that God made to Abraham was, you will be a blessing to other people. Number four. You will be a blessing to other people. Number 5 says, I will bless those who bless you. I will bless those who bless you. Number 6 is, but I will curse those who curse you. Number 5 says, I will bless those who bless you. And number 6 is, but I will curse those who curse you. God gave this promise to Abraham. He made this promise that anybody that blesses Abraham, that he will bless the person. And anyone that laid any curse on him, that he will do what? Curse the person. Number 7 says, through you, I will bless all the nations of the earth. Through him, that he will bless all the nations of the earth. Number 8 says, you shall be called the father of all nations. You shall be called the father of all nations. Remember what I said before? I said that Abraham was known as Abram before God called him. And it was God that named him Abraham. And it means father of all nations, or father of multitudes. Did you get that? Alright. So, remember what I said? Number 1, the promises God made to Abraham. Number 1 is, I will give you many children. I will give you many children. Your children will become a great nation. 3, I will bless you and make your name famous, great. That he will bless him and make his name great. Number 4, you will be a blessing to other people. That he is going to be a blessing to other people. That he will, through him, other people will be blessed. Number 5, I will bless those who bless you. Can you see? God said he will bless those who bless him. Number 6 says, I will curse those who curse you. This is a great promise that God made to him. That he will curse those who curse him. 7 says, through you, I will bless all the nations of the earth. Through you, I will bless all the nations of the earth. Number 8, you shall be called the father of all nations. That he will be called the father of all nations. Now, having known the call of Abraham by God, having known God's promises to Abraham, now we are going to talk about how God fulfilled his promises to Abraham. How God fulfilled his promises to Abraham. One day, God called Abraham after he might have left that place he was. And that place was Haran, the country he was before. God called him to leave the country. So after he has might left the country to be in the promised land called Canaan, remember, Abraham was 75 years old. 75 years old when God called him to leave that country to another country. There, God called him. And when God called him, he was 99 years. 99 years. God now told him that, I'm going to bless you with a son. I'm going to bless you with a son. Abraham laughed. He said, am I going to give birth now that I'm old? And my wife Sarah is 90. His wife Sarah was 90 years. So he laughed. He said, would this thing be possible? How am I going to give birth when I'm 99 years? And my wife is 90 years. How is it going to be possible? God told him, don't worry. I'm going to give you a son. And his name will be called Isaac. So, that promise God made to him came to fulfillment. Sarah conceived at the age of 90 years. He conceived and gave birth to Isaac. He gave birth to Isaac. So, and Isaac means laughter. So Sarah was so happy, said, oh, God have remembered me. And now, I have put to bed a son. And God said we should name him Isaac. And his name is going to be Isaac, which means laughter. So Sarah and Abraham, they were so excited. They were happy that of a truth that God has fulfilled his promises to them. So, the promise of God to Abraham, the fulfillment was that he is going to do what? They are going to give birth to a son. And that promise came to pass. Abraham and Sarah gave birth to Isaac. So before I leave, I have come to the conclusion of today's lesson. Before I go, I would like you to take down your assignment. Number 1 is, Abraham was known as Dash before God called him. And number 2 says, Abraham began his journey from Dash. A, Haran. B, Shechem. Number 3, who was Lot? Who was Lot? Then number 4, God fulfilled his promises to Abraham and Sarah by giving them a son called Dash. Let me repeat the assignment again. Number 1, Abraham was known as Dash before God called him. Number 2, Abraham began his journey from Dash. A, Haran. B, Shechem. You choose your own option. Number 3, who was Lot? A, Abraham's nephew. B, Abraham's brother. Choose your own. Just choose the correct answer there. Number 4 says, God fulfilled his promises to Abraham and Sarah by giving them a son called Dash. I hope you have taken all the assignments. I remain your teacher, Mrs. Chinaza Obi Rejoice. Goodbye.